all creatures, whether they know it or not, and whether they want to or not, always fulfill my will. My daughter, if you wish, I will this instant create a new world, more beautiful than this one, and you will live there for the rest of your life with no other soul do I unite myself as closely, and in such a way as I do with you, and this because of the deep humility and ardent love which you have for me. Every movement of your heart is known to me. No, my daughter, that one glance of yours directed at someone else would wound me more than many sins committed by another person. My daughter, why are you weeping? After all, you yourself offered to undertake these sufferings. Know that what you have taken upon yourself for that soul is only a small portion. He is suffering much more, and as for me, I bestow special graces on those souls for whom you intercede, and for this reason I am uniting myself with you, and coming with you in a special and intimate way for the sake of his triple crown. I'm in your heart, I whom you had in your arms. As you ask, so shall it be, but his merit will not be lessened. No, my daughter, that you cause me more sorrow by not uniting yourself with me in holy communion than you did by that small transgression. Do not fear anything, I'm always with you. In the host is your power, it will defend you. Do not fear anything, my daughter, all the adversaries will be shattered at my feet. Tell her that her disbelief wounds my heart more than the sins she committed. Do not fear anything, I'm always with you. Fear nothing, all difficulties will serve for the fulfillment of my will. My daughter, I desire that even in the smallest things, you rely on your confessor. Your greatest sacrifices do not please me if you practice them without the confessor's permission. On the other hand, the smallest sacrifice finds great value in my eyes, if it is done with his permission. The greatest works are worthless in my eyes, if they are done out of self-will, and often they are not in accord with my will, and merit punishment rather than reward. And on the other hand, even the smallest of your acts, done with the confessor's permission, is pleasing in my eyes and very dear to me. Hold firmly to this always. Be constantly on the watch, for many souls will turn back from the gates of hell and worship my mercy. But fear nothing, as I'm with you. Know that of yourself you can do nothing. These are hosts which have been received by the souls for whom you have obtained the grace of true conversion during this Lent. Tell the confessor that this work is mine, and that I'm using you as a lowly instrument. Always tell your confessor about everything I say to you, and command you to do, and do only that for which you obtained permission. Do not be upset, and fear nothing, I'm with you. I thirst. Fear nothing, I'm with you. No action undertaken on your own, even though you put much effort into it, pleases me. My daughter, suffering will be assigned to you, that I'm with you. Where are you intending to go? The inner peace that you have is a grace. My will has not yet been completely accomplished in you. You will still suffer much, but I'm with you. Do not fear. Say unceasingly the chaplet that I have taught you. Whoever will recite it will receive great mercy at the hour of death. Priests will recommend it to sinners as their last hope of salvation. Even if there were a sinner most hardened, if he were to recite this chaplet only once, he would receive grace from my infinite mercy. I desire that the whole world know my infinite mercy. I desire to grant unimaginable graces to those souls who trust in my mercy. Your hour has not yet come. Your prayer is extremely pleasing to me. My child, just a few more drops in your chalice, it won't be long now. My daughter, tell the whole world about my inconceivable mercy. I desire that the feast of mercy be a refuge and shelter for all souls, and especially for poor sinners. On that day the very depths of my tender mercy are open. I pour out a whole ocean of graces upon those souls who approach the fount of my mercy. The soul that will go to confession and receive Holy Communion shall obtain complete forgiveness of sins and punishment. On that day are open all the divine floodgates through which graces flow. Let no soul fear to draw near to me, even though its sins be as scarlet. My mercy is so great that no mind, be it of man or of angel, will be able to fathom it throughout all eternity. Everything that exists has come forth from the very depths of my most tender mercy. Every soul in its relation to me will contemplate my love and mercy throughout eternity. The feast of mercy emerged from my very depths of tenderness. It is my desire that it be solemnly celebrated on the first Sunday after Easter. Mankind will not have peace until it turns to the fount of my mercy. Now I know that it is not for the graces or gifts that you love me, but because my will is dearer to you than life. That is why I'm uniting myself with you so intimately as with no other creature. These hosts have been received by souls converted through your prayer and suffering. He will lead you through, do not fear. Go to the superior and tell her that I want all the sisters and wards to say the chaplet which I have taught you. They are to say it for 9 days in the chapel, in order to propitiate my father and to entreat God's mercy for Poland. You see what you are of yourself, but do not be frightened at this. If I were to reveal to you the whole misery that you are, you would die of terror. However, be aware of what you are. Because you are such great misery, I have revealed to you the whole ocean of my mercy. I seek and desire souls like yours, but they are few. Your great trust in me forces me to continuously grant you graces. You have great and incomprehensible rights over my heart, for you are a daughter of complete trust. You would not have been able to bear the magnitude of the love which I have for you if I had revealed it to you fully here on earth. I often give you a glimpse of it, but know that this is only an exceptional grace from me. My love and mercy knows no bounds. Know, my child, that for your sake I grant blessings to this whole vicinity. But you ought to thank me on their behalf, as they do not thank me for the kindnesses I extend to them. For the sake of your gratitude, I will continue to bless them. You see how weak you are, so when shall I be able to count on you? The graces I grant you are not for you alone, but for a great number of other souls as well, and your heart is my constant dwelling place, despite the misery that you are. I unite myself with you, take away your misery, and give you my mercy. I perform works of mercy in every soul. The greater the sinner, the greater the right he has to my mercy. My mercy is confirmed in every work of my hands. He who trusts in my mercy will not perish, for all his affairs are mine, and his enemies will be shattered at the base of my foot. Still I desire that you be entirely transformed into love, and that you burn ardently as a pure victim of love in this retreat. I shall keep you continually close to my heart, that you may better know my mercy, that mercy which I have for people, and especially for poor sinners. There are few souls who contemplate my passion. With true feeling, I give great graces to souls who meditate devoutly on my passion. Without special help from me, you are not even capable of accepting my graces. You know who you are. My daughter, don't be exerting yourself so much with words. Those whom you love in a special way, I too love in a special way, and for your sake, I shower my graces upon them. I'm pleased when you tell me about them, but don't be doing so with such excessive effort. My daughter, if I demand through you that people revere my mercy, you should be the first to distinguish yourself by this confidence in my mercy. I demand from you deeds of mercy, which are to arise out of love for me. You are to show mercy to your neighbors always and everywhere. You must not shrink from this, or try to excuse or absolve yourself from it. I'm giving you 3 ways of exercising mercy toward your neighbor, the first by deed, the second by word, the third by prayer. In these 3 degrees is contained the fullness of mercy, and it is an unquestionable proof of love for me. By this means a soul glorifies and pays reverence to my mercy. Yes, the first Sunday after Easter is the Feast of Mercy, but there must also be acts of mercy, and I demand the worship of my mercy through the solemn celebration of the feast, and through the veneration of the image which is painted. By means of this image I shall grant many graces to souls. It is to be a reminder of the demands of my mercy, because even the strongest faith is of no avail without works. The souls that will say this chaplet will be embraced by my mercy during their lifetime, and especially at the hour of their death. Be at peace, my daughter. I see your efforts, which are very pleasing to me. You are to defend them from evil. My daughter, I will not leave you in this community for much longer. I'm telling you this, so that you will be more diligent in taking advantage of the graces, which I grant you. Know that I'm with you. I bring about the difficulties, and I overcome them. In one instant, I can change a hostile disposition to one which is favorable to this cause. By this novena, I will grant every possible grace to souls. You will not be alone, because I'm with you always and everywhere. Near to my heart, fear nothing. I myself am the cause of your departure. Know that my eyes follow every move of your heart with great attention. I'm bringing you into seclusion, so that I myself may form your heart according to my future plans. What are you afraid of? If you are with me, who will dare touch you? Nevertheless, I'm very pleased that you confide your fears to me, my daughter. Speak to me about everything in a completely simple and human way, by this you will give me great joy. I understand you, because I'm God-man. This simple language of your heart is more pleasing to me than the hymns composed in my honor. Know, my daughter, that the simpler your speech is, the more you attract me to yourself. And now, be at peace close to my heart. Lay your pen aside, and get ready to leave. Be at peace, my child. See, you are not alone. My heart watches over you, say the chaplet which I taught you at the hour of their death. I defend as my own glory every soul that will say this chaplet, or when others say it for a dying person. The indulgence is the same. When this chaplet is said by the bedside of a dying person, God's anger is placated, and unfathomable mercy envelops the soul, and the very depths of my tender mercy will be moved for the sake of the sorrowful passion of my son. I cannot suffer that country any longer. Do not tie my hands, my daughter, Russia. Know, my daughter, that the ardor of your heart is pleasing to me. And just as you desire ardently to become united with me in holy communion, so too do I desire to give myself wholly to you, and as a reward for your zeal, rest on my heart. Isn't it enough for you that I visit you every day? Oh, what great graces I will grant to souls who say this chaplet. The very depths of my tender mercy are stirred for the sake of those who say the chaplet. Write down these words, my daughter. Speak to the world about my mercy. Let all mankind recognize my unfathomable mercy. It is a sign for the end of times. After it will come the day of justice. While there is still time, let them have recourse to the fount of my mercy. Let them profit from the blood and water which gushed forth for them. My daughter, I too came down from heaven out of love for you. I lived for you, I died for you, and I created the heavens for you. And Jesus pressed me to his heart, and said to me, very soon now, be at peace, my daughter. My daughter, stand ready, for I will come unexpectedly. My daughter, it is for your one good. You will learn it, but not now. Keep watch. My daughter, have patience, it won't be long now. My daughter, I want to repose in your heart, because many souls have thrown me out of their hearts today. I have experienced sorrow unto death. My beloved daughter, you have come to know well the depths of my mercy. I will do what you ask, but unite yourself continually with my agonizing heart, and make reparation to my justice. Know that you have asked me for a great thing, but I see that this was dictated by your pure love for me. That is why I'm complying with your request. Because I'm very much at home in his heart. My daughter, why are you giving in to thoughts of fear? My daughter, what you have said is true. You are very miserable, and it pleases me to carry out this work of mercy precisely through you who are nothing but misery itself. Do not fear, I will accomplish everything that is lacking in you. You know what is within your power to do that. My daughter, know that you give me greater glory by a single act of obedience than by long prayers and mortifications. My daughter, you do not live for yourself